Hello, lovely people. Welcome to today's episode of Reality TV News. Reminding you, we post videos daily, so if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, smash that subscribe button so that you don't miss any important update. Okay then, the first update we have today is, well, it's about a significant shakeup rumor surrounding the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. What's the latest there?
So the big news is Danielle Cabral. She's apparently declared she will not return to the show if Jennifer Aydin comes back.
Wow. Okay. That's quite an ultimatum.
It really is. And this statement, it really sets the scene for digging into some, pretty deep-seated tensions between them.
Right. And it clarifies some of the history there, doesn't it? Because Jennifer, last season she made some specific accusations against Danielle.
Yeah, what were those again?
She claimed Danielle essentially paid herself for work she did on a charity event. That was one thing.
Okay, that's a serious claim in that world.
Definitely. And then Jennifer also said that Danielle apparently removed her hairstylist from the VIP section right after getting her hair styled for free for that same event.
Oof. Okay, so that illuminates why things might be so tense. It's not just one thing.
Exactly. It's layered.
And Danielle herself, she brought up this really interesting distinction, didn't she, on that Unplugged with Nikki podcast, talking about Danielle, the person, versus the housewife, her sort of TV persona.
Yeah, she did. She described Danielle as, the mom focused on her daughter's big birthday party, stressed about launching her brand, bougie kids, just normal life stuff, kind of.
The everyday pressures.
Right. But then the housewife persona, that's the one who reacts defensively, like, why are you saying this about me? What, are you kidding? It demonstrates that split,
Yeah, creating that character to handle the heat, maybe.
It seems like a common coping mechanism, yeah. How much is real? How much is performance for the cameras? That's always the question with these shows.
And Danielle also mentioned, kind of vaguely, the things they were saying about me on the show. It hints at more going on.
Mm-hmm. And that's where it gets tricky, because then you have outside perspectives coming in, like Karen Desimone. She claims she was Danielle's hairstylist.
Oh, the one involved in the VIP accusation.
Potentially, yes. Desimone went public saying Danielle never actually paid her for a specific look, promised promotion that didn't happen, and then blocked her.
Wow.
Yeah, and she even said she plans to post all the season 14 hair looks she did just to make sure her work gets seen.
So the drama isn't just on screen, it's spilling out everywhere, involving other people's careers even?
Exactly. It illustrates how messy it can get when these off-screen disputes become part of the public story.
Okay, so on top of the Jennifer drama and this hairstylist situation, Danielle also seemed hesitant about returning if Teresa Giudice is still there, right?
She did show some uncertainty there, yeah. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, RHONJ is actually on hiatus, the whole show.
Right. I heard that. Why exactly?
Reports say it's because the cast divide got so bad after last season they couldn't even film.
That's pretty major.
It is. It signals things might be fundamentally broken within the group dynamic. And now they're saying the new season probably won't even start filming until 2026.
2026, wow.
Yeah. And while some names are being rumored for season 15, apparently Danielle Cabral's isn't one of them currently, which, demonstrates the real-world fallout from all this on-screen drama.
It certainly does.
Okay, next update we have is about Dr. Nicole Martin. She was on her podcast Scrubs to Stilettos recently and got pretty real about why she left the Real Housewives of Miami. And maybe, just maybe, what might bring her back.
Right. And what's really interesting here is not just why she left. She mentioned postpartum anxiety, which is huge in itself, but how she kind of contrasts that difficulty with what she actually gained from the show.
It's from Real Housewives. That's not what you usually hear.
Exactly. She talked about like a big confidence boost, learning how to set boundaries, which is crucial, right? And this is wild, even working through some long-running issues with her father because of the filming process. It sort of flips the script on reality TV being only negative.
Wow. Okay. That really does illuminate a different side. And I mean, let's be real. She also got a huge boost for her skincare line, her social media. That platform is undeniable.
Oh, absolutely. Massive platform. But here's the kicker, the really interesting part. She might come back. Now, her daughter Genevieve's a bit older, but, and it's a big but, only if there's a cast revamp, a cast shakeup.
A shakeup. So she's naming names, basically, without naming names.
Pretty much. She explicitly said there are, quote, people that I think are just not good people, that I think are just looking for an aha TV moment, and they will stop at nothing to get that. She even said she doesn't feel safe filming with them, calls them liabilities.
Whoa, safe. That's intense. That really clarifies the difference between, real issues and drama just stirred up for the cameras.
Totally. It depicts a situation where she feels Some castmates cross the line from conflict into something more, well, dangerous professionally or personally. She gets that viewers like drama, she said that, but she also seems to want a different kind of reality TV experience for herself now.
Like what, did she say?
Yeah, she mentioned maybe doing shows like Traders, mental games or cooking competitions, even Dancing with the Stars. Apparently, she used to be a cheerleader. So things that are more about skill or strategy, not just interpersonal fireworks. I think it shows stars might be getting savvier, maybe trying to negotiate the terms of their participation more.
Yeah.
Trying to control their narrative and maybe push back against being purely fodder for drama. It's a fascinating evolution.
Yeah. Definitely something to watch. Okay, so moving from Miami down to the OC, let's talk about Emily Simpson from RHOC. She opened up about something incredibly difficult, her son Luke's health struggles and how hard that's been on her and her marriage to Shane.
Oh, this was heavy. She was on Access Hollywood's Housewives Nightcap. She talked about not knowing what was wrong with Luke, he's 10, and going through endless tests, getting different diagnoses while they were filming.
God, the uncertainty must have been awful.
Right. She described Luke as very complicated, complex compared to his brother and sister, and she was open about how she and Shane had to get therapy, like specifically to learn how to parent him differently. And she admitted they're still learning. It just brings to life that daily struggle, the emotional exhaustion.
And the impact on her marriage. She didn't shy away from that either, did she?
Not at all. She said the whole situation with Luke was very brutal on her marriage. They were constantly butting heads about parenting. She felt she was taking it more seriously, maybe, while Shane kind of assumed things would just resolve.
Oh, that classic dynamic. That sounds so hard.
Yeah, she said they weren't spending any quality time together. She was going to bed crying every night. You really felt the weight of it. She even thought, this is going to make us or break us.
Wow. And the trailer even mentioned divorce, but she clarified they're still together.
Yes, still together. She said she felt it was important to be authentic about it all, that it's maybe their purpose on the show, letting viewers see the raw, messy reality.
But then there's the other side of that coin, the worry about sharing too much.
Exactly. She voiced that concern, worrying about how her honesty might affect Luke at school, with other parents watching the show. It perfectly illustrates that tightrope reality stars walk, wanting to be open, to connect, but also needing to protect their kids from the fallout.
Such a dilemma. Did she ever think about just quitting the show?
Multiple times, she said. But apparently Shane encouraged her to think about it differently, like it's her work, it's a choice, defines part of her identity, contributes financially. She sort of concluded that quitting wouldn't automatically make her a better mom. It's a really pragmatic way of looking at it, maybe.
Yeah, a complex justification. It really speaks to how many roles these women are juggling. Mom, wife, career, person, and how one major stressor, like a child's health crisis, can impact everything, especially under cameras.
Absolutely. And just as a little tease, she did say season 19 of RHOC is dynamic and fun, but ends with something shocking and uncomfortable involving two people that pulls everyone else in. So more drama ahead, clearly.
Of course. Okay, next update we have is about Gizelle Bryant from The Real Housewives of Potomac. A bit lighter, maybe. She talked about that romance with Theo from Love Hotel fizzling out.
Yeah, maybe a bit lighter. It's almost funny how it ended, but also kind of relatable. She was on her podcast, Reasonably Shady, with Robin Dixon. Apparently, she picked Theo, he is an oral surgeon in New York, over the other guy, mainly because of location, to convenience.
Tactical.
Totally. So they made plans for Halloween, and then, poof, Theo apparently lost his phone, stopped communicating altogether.
Oh, the classic lost phone, right?
Yep. So Gizelle just told him to kick rocks, play her. Gotta love her directness. It just, demonstrates that even reality stars deal with dating weirdness and ghosting.
Iconic. But they also talked about something more serious, right? That lawsuit involving Britt Eady from RHOA.
Yeah, they did. The $20 million lawsuit Britt filed against Bravo. This brings up some really important questions about accountability, legal stuff in the reality world.
Gizelle and Robin seem pretty confused by it.
Well, mainly because the whole issue was about those controversial pictures Kenya Moore allegedly showed. But reports suggested the pictures weren't even of Britt. Plus, Robin pointed out Britt filmed a whole season after that incident happened, and the person who actually printed the pictures was let go from the show.
Okay. So they're questioning the timing and maybe the grounds for it.
Seems like it. And here's where Gizelle's take gets really interesting. She actually suggested maybe Kenya should be the one suing, not Britt. And she even threw some shade at casting, saying Britt's past should have been a red flag, that she was not a good choice for RHOA.
Wow. Okay. So Gizelle weighing in on casting decisions and legal strategy. Does that show some like internal tension among housewives about these kinds of things?
I think it definitely illustrates the different viewpoints within that world about what's a real grievance versus maybe just playing things up for a storyline. They clearly have strong opinions. They also seem bummed Kenya wasn't at the reunion to like state her case or apologize. Suggests they prefer things hashed out directly, maybe?
Yeah, even amidst all the drama. Okay, so finally, let's check in with Jax Taylor from the Valley. He's been clarifying a few things lately. His sobriety timeline, that old Xanax story, and how things are with Brittany in custody.
Right. There was some confusion about his sobriety, and it's compelling how he addressed it. He was on his podcast, In the Mind of Jax Taylor, and he explained that when he said on Watch What Happens Live back in June that he was 201 days sober, people needed to remember The Valley was filmed like a year before that aired.
Ah, the classic filming versus airing gap, so the timelines didn't match up.
Exactly. And he clarified he actually went to rehab twice. His publicist even gave the dates. First time was July 2024 for 30 days. Second time was November 2024 for 17 days. And it was during that second stint, which wasn't filmed, that he actually stopped using substances.
Okay, that clarifies things. It really brings to life how recovery isn't always linear, especially when parts are public and parts are private.
And it definitely highlights how tough recovery must be with everyone watching and commenting. He also talked about that old story with Tom Schwartz allegedly giving him Xanax and beer during a panic attack. Jack said that was before he got sober, when he didn't know how to cope. His publicist chimed in, too, calling giving someone Xanax and alcohol for panic ridiculous.
Yeah, that's definitely not recommended. So what's the situation now? He was pretty upfront about it, wasn't he?
Very. He said, I do smoke a little marijuana in the evenings from time to time. Keeps me calm at night, makes me sleep. And he mentioned being on bipolar medication helps manage his anger. But he stressed, all I know is I don't drink and I don't do cocaine anymore, period. It kind of depicts his personal, maybe nuanced approach to sobriety and mental health management right now.
Okay. And what about the situation with Brittany and their son, Cruz? There were rumors about custody.
Yeah, he tackled those directly.
Yeah.
Said it's absolutely not true that Brittany has full custody. He described their co-parenting as going as good as it can be. He sees Cruz several times a week, depending on their schedules, and shut down any talk of supervised visits. It just clarifies the reality of their situation versus, the gossip mill.
Right. Setting the record straight.